Hey, you're watching Show Me Your Pick with Fruitcake Tony, and this is Cher from VIXEN. You better watch this show.
Five, 4, 5.
Shaboom! How you doing?
Hey guys.
Hey, everybody. What's happening?
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Producing.
You know, just a normal Saturday night at Show Me Your Pick, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How you doing, Sandra?
I'm doing good, thank you. Yourself?
Doing well. Busy day, but I'm here and ready to have fun.
Cool. Brendan, you popping butt cheeks?
I hope not, but yes, probably. I did get a new mic, but you know, I think it might still be popping. Tea-cake.
What is up?
Welcome, everybody.
Yes.
Show Me Your Pick. VIXEN tonight. Yeah.
Look at that shirt.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
I like that, man. You should feature that so we can see it up close.
This is a 1991 Rev It Up shirt, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
Very cool logo.
I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Who's here on board, Sandra?
Well, starting at the very, very top, we have Thrash Metal Fun Riffs. Rick Hefner is here. Thomas Santiago, Lenny Lou and Mary, Mr. Mike Johnson, Stafford's Music Studio. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Dave. What's up, man?
Nelson Rodriguez, myself, CK's in the house, Dwight Bailey, Hitman. And here, Dan of New Jersey's with us. Make sure you share this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, check those links down in the description, and make sure you follow every one of shares down there. Charles Green's joining us. Ben Tom's in the house. Boomer Bass Meme. Christopher Sawa. Ben Coombs. Jeff K. And, Joe Wentz Project's joining us. Halface. Gil Crab.
Yep, Gil's here. Hey, Gil.
What's up, Gil?
Grab. I'm not sure. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We have a great show planned for you tonight. We have a wonderful guest, a very lovely lady, and I can't wait for you all to meet her.
Let's go ahead and bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only VIXEN bassist, Cher Ross.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening,
Cher.
guys? What's going on?
This is so
How you doing?
Good. Loving the VIXEN t-shirt there, Tony. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Very nice.
Yes, ma'am. Nice to see
That's
you.
a vintage one.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 91.
That's cool.
Thank you so much, Cher, for being here tonight.
Yes.
We are so excited. I have been a VIXEN fan forever and ever and ever.
Cool.
So this is such a treat. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's really cool.
Everyone in the chat is saying, hey, Cher, hello, Cher, hi, Cher. So, yeah.
Hi. Hi, everybody in the chat.
I don't know if Tony told you where the comments were. Can you see the comments? Did he explain all that?
I'm not seeing them. I'm on
It's
my
in
phone,
that same
so I'm not
private.
seeing
It's
them.
in that. It's in that same private chat area. So you
Oh, it
click
is.
over to
Okay.
comments,
Oh,
and
now it's working.
they'll be
Comments.
screaming
Oh,
up and down.
hi. Hello. Hey, holy wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of comments.
I like Lenny Lou has like the wow eyes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey,
know.
Thomas. Hey, Charles. Hey, Joe. Hey,
I
Dwight.
love her.
Hey, thrash metal. Trying to read at the same time. A tiny print on my phone. Hey, Charles.
That's all right.
Awesome, you guys. Thanks for showing up on Saturday night. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Before we get really deep into this, we are going to have a trivia question, a VIXEN trivia question later on in the show. And we give away a guitar pick each week, Cher, as you know. And let me show everybody what we're giving away this evening.
Woo! Da, 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 da.
Nice.
I recognize that.
Yep. One of yours.
Scribble. Love it.
It's cool.
Yeah. So
the cool thing about this, Tony, though, is this is the first time on the show that you're giving away a pick of the artist, and the artist is here.
I know.
So
that's awesome.
This is the first time on the show we've had a female artist.
Oh, it's a double whammy.
A lot of firsts.
Yeah. And we are honored. Absolutely.
Cool, man.
Honored.
Thanks.
All right, Tom.
I think
what
Tom's
you got?
All righty. So my curiosity led me kind of down the path of doing a little research. So you can fill us in on all the details, but what I read was to me like not only super impressive, but really like wow. So from what I understood, you had if not somewhat like a really pretty musical background growing up, like your household, like from a very young age.
Right.
And I'll just let you talk, but and then that leading up to you going to Berkeley, I was a music school teenager myself. I had a lot of friends that went to Berkeley. I know how tough it is. That's impressive enough. But then I also read that you went on to teach at the Bass Institute, which is like, I mean, anyone who's anyone on the West Coast, like that's where they go. Is they go to the Bass Institute, Guitar Institute, Keyboard Institute, all those places. So I was highly impressed. So do you just want to kind of give us a history of what like your musical journey and how you kind of got from a little kid to where you are today?
in a nutshell.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, well, like just like growing up, like what you were saying, my mom was a musician, so she just made it super easy, so she was a piano teacher. She used to be a performer and a singer. And so I was sitting at the piano and playing. I just loved it, like super early on. So by the time I think it was like 4, I got pretty seriously into piano, and just it wasn't like somebody had to force me to do it, though. You know what I mean? Like that's what I wanted to do. I was just really drawn to it, and I really loved it. But then along with that, her brothers and sisters, she had 6 brothers and sisters, and they were all musical, and so were her parents. So when my grandparents and all my aunts and uncles came over, and then of course all my cousins as well, everybody could sing. Everybody could play at least one instrument, if not more than one. So it was like learning to read a book was the same to me as learning to read music and learning to sing harmony and learning to play ear. It was all the same thing. And I think maybe because it was, I was so young, you just think that's how everybody grows up. You don't know any different. But at the same time, we had some really crazy jam sessions. So because my mom had been the professional entertainer, she'd played bars for years and sang and always brought the house down. She was like this amazing entertainer. And so we lived in this really small town in Minnesota, and she became friends with this guy, Eddie. Eddie and Vi were like not neighbors, but they lived a few streets away. And so we'd go over to Eddie and Vi's. And Eddie would play drums, and my mom would play piano, and me and Eddie and Vi's kids would just run around singing and playing tambourines and shakers and anything we get our hands on. So it was kind of like early on, I really associated music with, you know, just this joy and like almost like a sense of community and belonging and all that kind of stuff. It was really magical. And then she also had a group that she formed and put together, and she would write all these like parodies and all this stuff and write these crazy lyrics and everything. And they would go around, she just wanted to perform. So they would go around and perform to like hospitals or nursing homes or just anybody would have them. And so I think I was like 8 years old and I started performing with them and just like dancing and singing. And they played the bass part on the left hand with my mom. And I just wanted to be there. You know, I was so excited. So that was kind of like early on going on stage, super, super young. And then there was like a lot of instruments because I started looking at the posters on my wall and thinking, you know, I don't see a picture with the keyboard player in the Rolling Stones, and I don't see the keyboard player in Led Zeppelin. So I wanted to be in the band, and and yeah, I was like, I want to be on that. I want to be in those posters. And so I think I was like 11 or 12. I started playing around with other instruments and stuff, and just trying stuff out. And then eventually had a bass, and because I had such a piano background, it was kind of I think it was probably easier for me than some other people maybe. Like I was just like, I knew all the relationships. It made perfect sense to me. And then it was a matter of training my hands to do it. And by that time I was also the bass player for, we had like a singing group at my high school. Okay. And I was the bass player for that. And the director for that was, he was a really phenomenal musician. He was one of those people who ended up being influential because he pulled me aside and said, you know, you should look into Berklee College of Music. And they have a summer program. And I think you would really benefit from that. I think you would really like that because with the singing group, there's a lot of like jazzy stuff and everything. And I really had fun with that. But also in the high school rock band as well, don't get me wrong. So, so that was how I just ended up going there for like the summer. And then I came back and I'll just do like the super short version is like I ended up wanting to be like Jimi Hendrix and Jaco Pastorius, so I dropped out of high school because I thought that was what I should do, and then went on the road with a band right away and saved up some money, got my GED, went back to Berklee again, and then the second time I went to Berklee College of Music, I was like, okay, I mean, I was playing my bass like a lot of hours a day, and it was fretless. By that time, I'd committed to being a fretless bass player.
Oh wow!
That's
and
cool.
Yeah, I really wanted to be like this amazing jazz musician, you know, that was what I wanted in my heart and soul, I guess, at that time. And I don't know, something kind of clicked while I was there. And I realized like if I kept going to Berklee, I was going to end up just writing notes on paper for orchestras. And that wasn't really what I wanted to do. Not to mention it was super expensive. So I flew back to Minnesota and just started working. I just became a gigging musician. And I was like, let's say I was like 18. And I think I was doing there were days I would play like 3 or 4 different gigs in one day.
Wow.
I was just like, you call me, you need a bass player, I'm there. And it was trial by fire a lot of times. I did all sorts of crazy gigs. I played in salsa bands, Latin bands, big bands, trios, quartets, quintets. And then I had my rock stuff that I did kind of on the side. And then eventually kind of hit a point where I was like, you know what? I don't have that thing that people like Miles Davis have. You know, I'm like, I just don't have it. And also like, when ZZ Top comes on the radio, I want to turn that sucker up really, really, really loud. So I felt like I was in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and I had such a reputation as this jazzer, basically. So that's when I moved to LA and I just kind of tried to reinvent myself out there because, you know, nobody knew me or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a rocker. And, and then I started actually became a session player for quite a while. And then, like you were saying, you know, how did I end up teaching at the Bass Institute? I actually don't know how I got that job. I can't remember. It was definitely before VIXEN. Mm-hmm. I must have met somebody and I don't know, talk a good game, and then I ended up being a teacher. I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, with good musicians, I mean, word gets around though. So I mean, it makes sense like through word of mouth because I mean, I'm sure as you know, when you play with someone and have a good experience, you're gonna, oh yeah, I have this gig. You'd be great for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I definitely built up a name. I mean, I was playing. I think I played the Universal Amphitheater as like a session player for some.
Oh,
I was like
wow.
a hired gun for something. So I was playing some pretty big venues and stuff. I ended up playing with Del Shannon and the Drifters, the Coasters, the Temptations, Helen Reddy, the 70s Australian pop star. She became my main gig for quite a long time. And
Wow, those are big
yes,
gigs.
yeah, it was pretty crazy stuff. And what's
Very cool.
like kind of along the way in there, I sort of was like, this still doesn't feel like ZZ Top. I want to be in the band, I don't want to be like over there outside the band. And so kind of had an awakening with that, so to speak.
Right,
awesome.
right. You met Jan in St. Paul or out in LA, Cher?
Good question. Yeah, it's weird. We're both in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
No, I met her in LA. Yeah, we never met back in Minnesota. So she saw me playing in one of those, it's the club on Sunset Strip. Now it's called Viper Room, but back then it was the Central. And it was just a garagey little club. And I was there, as a hired gun it was a rock band. I was a hired gun for this dude. And she walked up to me afterwards. She was so nice. And, just told me about her band and wrote her phone number down on a bar napkin, and I threw it in my bag and forgot about it. And then a couple months later, I was really seriously trying to find some bands that I could be a member of instead of like this whole hired gun thing. And I kept running into roadblocks with dudes that would just hang up the phone on me and just be like, "What? You're a chick. We can't have a chick in the band," And they would so I kind of got frustrated trying to find a band, and I remember meeting Jan, and I just was like, oh, screw it, maybe if I go see this band VIXEN play, then she can introduce me to some other musicians and I'll have like some credibility. I'll have street cred,
Yeah.
Right.
And the day that I called her was the day that they had just fired their bass player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fate.
Super
fate
crazy,
right
super weird. Yeah, super weird. Yeah, I mean, it was so bizarrely fate. And then I think I want to say it was less than a year, maybe 6 months, 8 months. I'm not sure. I don't remember the time frame that well, but it was definitely less than a year, and we had a record deal with EMI. So
Nice,
crazy,
nice.
just crazy. The overnight journey that had about 300,000 gigs prior.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no one ever talks
like they
about
all
what
do.
They never talk about what it takes for you to get there. Like, so you're there. You're like, well, yeah, but there was a whole bunch of stuff back there to get here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was crazy.
Absolutely.
It was super crazy.
Yeah.
It was nutty.
So Cher, you guys get signed. You make a record. You find yourself in Europe opening shows with the Scorpions in big, massive arenas. What was it like going from clubs to these big arenas? Had to have been a shock.
Yeah, it definitely was. And well, actually the first tour was opening up for Eddie Money, and that was in America, but that was theaters and big clubs. And then so the first arenas were with the Scorpions, and it was just a double whammy because it was Europe, so that was like exciting and terrifyingly new, and just everything is the first time. And then the arenas were just a little bit of heart palpitations when you first walk out on that humongous stage. And and then we had played so much by that time already that we just kind of went into our rhythm. We just had these things that and you just look at each other, and you're back in your little world, back in that little tiny rehearsal room and all that good stuff. And
oh yeah.
So we clicked back with it. But the Scorpions were really generous, and they gave us they told their spot you know, the follow spot operators and told them to follow each of us, which is really unusual. Headlining bands don't do that. They don't do that.
Wow.
So the Scorpions, you know, A, were super generous. B, were super comfortable and not threatened. You know, they were comfortable in their own skin and not go like, oh, well, if we do that, it will make us look bad. It's like, no, we're not going to make you look bad. You know, you guys are the Scorpions. So that was really incredible. And that was just, will always be one of my favorite tours ever because they were so great. They were just so great.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the audiences, oh my God, just, the whole thing was incredible. There was a lot of moments, of course, you know, that were insane, but good kind of insane mostly. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right.
Wow.
What you got, Sandra?
I'm producing. Oh, okay. Sorry. So
what are we doing? I don't know.
I have an opportunity right now to work with a great group of guys. Look at them as colleagues and as equals, and I'm pretty sure that it's likewise. I'm wondering, as a young band coming up, how did you ladies handle the prejudice, the discrimination, and the stereotype of being pegged as pretty good for a bunch of girls? How did that motivate you?
I think, you know, it was one of those things that we just got so immune to it because it came up so often in every interview and everything like that. So we just got really used to it. It did become a point of humor more than anything. There were two things that would happen a lot. One was at the beginning of every single tour, and I mean every tour, the crew and the headlining band would be at the side of the stage for the first song to see if we could really play.
Wow.
And then after our set, the attitude would be so different because they're like, oh my God, okay, you actually deliver, you know? So yeah, it got to be pretty funny. And that happened like every single time. So that was always really funny. It was just like, we always just had to win over their respect. And then the other thing was when we would travel, when the four of us were out, you know, in public together, we got asked the funniest things. We'd be in airports and they'd say, are you guys Motley Crue's wives? Or, oh my God, are you guys a famous basketball team? Or, you know, the other thing we would do is we would play the show. And then if we wanted to go out on the town, you know, go to a club or whatever, we take our roadies out. And then all the girls in the club would come to the roadies, and I'll have to ask Roxy if she remembers. I think they have a fake band name, and we were their groupies. And so we would just be like, oh, no, we're their groupies. Don't you know who they are?
That's great. That's great.
It was just, I mean, we had a lot of fun with it because I think it was just, you know, when I had been out there by myself, just as like, you know, this hired gun, blah, 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 blah. Nobody ever said two words about it. You know, it's just like, if anything, they're like, you know, don't distract from the lead act. Like, you're a hired gun, so just stay in the background, you know? But it was never like, you're here because you look good. I was never there to look good. I was always there to just sound good, you know? So I think with VIXEN, it was that whole package. You've got 4 chicks on stage playing this rock music. And they rock right. Yeah. And so it did create a lot of, you know, funny comments and yeah, you know, you're good for a girl, blah, 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 that kind of shit. We'd be in elevators, and I still remember we were in an elevator in New York City, and, you know, some little lady with the gray hair, and she gets in with her fur coat or she's like, oh, are you girls a group? Do you all sing? You know, she's just oblivious, you know, they don't understand that you can actually play, you know? So that was always the thing. We would just say, yeah, we're all singers. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Just go along with it, you know? Yeah, we're all singers. We're like the Spice Girls before the Spice Girls.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
So cool. So cool.
Good times.
All right, B, what you got?
Well, all right. So you're doing all that. You're busy. I know you're busy. And what kind of stuff are you working on now? We know you're doing realty stuff, and I know you have other bands that you were in and that you were playing with, like like with your husband Bam, Twin Flames Radio, and you played in some of his old bands too, like Bubble, Dogs of Demore. Do we have anything new in the works? I mean, how's everything going now? And what are you working on now? So
That's a great question. Yeah. We'll starting with VIXEN, obviously. Then, like with VIXEN, we have a lot of songs like in the works. They're like kind of half done or half written, or there's ideas here and there's ideas there, and blah blah blah. And so we thought last year we were going to be together and just working on them, and then of course COVID hit, so that became really impossible. And I think where we're at right now is, it's weird. I don't know about you guys, but COVID, I think it affected everybody differently. And I know for me personally, and I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody else in the band, but for me personally, I did not feel super creative. Like last year was just weird. And for me to write songs, I need to feel like, I don't know, a certain amount of, I have to feel relaxed or feel like everything's kind of okay. And so maybe, like, I guess that's the best way I can put it. Like last year, I just didn't really feel like everything was all that okay. And so I had a hard time, like, just like feeling super creative at all. Whereas this year, the energy's shifting. And I was just talking to Britt Lightning, the guitar player, and we were talking about, maybe trying to do a Zoom thing. And yeah, so we are definitely working on stuff. It's so much easier when you're all in a room together, and that's just not happening right now. So it's just trying to find another way to make that work. And then with Bam and me, we have Twin Flame Radio, and then our old band Bubble. We did Bubble. I mean, Bubble, I was the guitar player and singer, and with Twin Flame Radio, we both sing, and then we both kind of play everything as well. So that's really easy because we're just both here all the time. Right. So it's not like it's that hard. And same as VIXEN, we've got like 500 songs in the computer that are just like half done. So it's just always like, again, like finding that time to sit there and actually do it, And then Joe Elliott's thing, the Down and Outs, when did that album? I guess that album came out in 2020, maybe.
Did
it come out in 2019?
2019, but then it just won a best album for something last year.
Yeah, it won Best British Album of the Year.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
For 2020. Yeah, I know, that was really cool. And that was, he formed that band because of, I won't go into the whole story, but basically, the Down and Outs, initially we were playing, like deep cuts of Mott the Hoople and Ian Hunter. Wow. And then this album, this new release, this one is all Joe Elliott penned songs. So it's really different, it's really, really different. It doesn't sound like Def Leppard. Don't let anybody tell you. Yeah. Don't be thinking that. This is like Joe Elliott, on his own. So it's really different. And it was really fun to play on as well. It was super fun. Yeah.
I can't wait for live music. That's one thing I really miss.
I know, isn't it weird?
I think the first band that I ever go see, it's after this, it's gonna be like, I don't care who it is. It's like, we're gonna be out there. So
and they're all gonna be like, going,
I know,
like, super nutty, crazy. Yeah,
I know, but hopefully it will happen soon. It seems like it's going to, like, at least maybe by summer. Maybe by fall. I don't know. But
I know. I don't know either. I think that Fauci was saying like by the fall, but I don't know. I don't know how to measure this stuff. I don't know.
I guess it depends on vaccines and all that stuff, but that's a whole.
It does.
That's a whole nother conversation, and you got to just. I guess we'll find out, right? So.
For sure. But
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Fantastic.
Cher, so a couple of years ago or so, how did Britt Lightning come up on your radar? How'd all that come about?
Britt came up from, she was actually recommended to us by like a few different people. And then we we just kind of researched her like online, like you do, like you can stalk people online, right? So we were kind of stalking her. So we kind of stalked her a little bit, and then we flew her out to my house here in Florida, and we auditioned her. And as soon as she played with us, we were like, yeah, she's great. And then she can sing as well, and just the vibe was spot on, just spot on. Yeah, very, very. We love having Brit in the band, and she's super fun and just fits in with the whole energy. You know, I think that VIXEN has built up. She's a solid part of that now. It's really great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
Am I back up?
You're back up.
You guys get to take questions. I'm gonna look at these comments. Holy cow! You guys
Yeah,
have
there's
comments going on.
there's a lot of them.
So I was curious. I read an article you talked about in a little bit of this article I read, which was, I don't remember when or where, but it was a Guitar World magazine article that you had done. You had talked about your songwriting process. There's something that caught my eye. You said that for you, sometimes you feel like it's like you're able to channel that idea, which I found very interesting. I find that people at a high level of their craft, such as yourself, and I'm going to put you up on heavy shoulders because I'm a big Eddie Van Halen fan, and he said the same thing. He said sometimes it's, when he was with Jason Becker in that newly released video, he said, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's me, it feels like it's coming through me. And so I'm curious about I'm not a big religion person, but I'm very spiritual, and I think I believe in that a lot, that it's almost like energy coming through you, an idea that just comes to you. So how does that kind of factor into your own writing or creative process?
Yeah, I actually really agree with that, and I would take it a step further. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Elizabeth Gilbert. She's an author, and I believe she wrote that book Eat, Pray, Love, and she has this way after that. She wrote another book about the creative process, and I just completely agree with her feelings around that, which is, and like you, I'm not religious, and you know, cool if anybody is, but I'm just like, I'm into spirituality and whatever, universe and unicorns, but I do believe that ideas are like floating around, whether it's a song idea or a book idea or you know, a new widget that the world desperately needs. These ideas are kind of floating around, and sometimes they land on you. And if you don't take action, they're going to go to somebody else. And that's kind of how it feels to me. And in so much as even like I'll pick up that guitar, and that guitar will, it's almost like the guitar is playing the idea, and I'm just like channeling it basically. And same thing with the piano as well. Like you play one piano and it wants you to play these kind of chords. I know it sounds really weird, but that's really how it feels. Yeah. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. You become a conduit for what you're absorbing. I agree. That's why I was smiling. I'm like, she's right on. I agree 100%.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know that. A lot of times, like, you know, you think, oh, where did that come from? But it's sort of like, I just think that it's out there. It's like in the universe or the atoms or something. And I mean, you know, there's a lot of times where I mean, I can think of one instance in particular where Bam and I had written a song, and all we had was like a really crappy, you know, cassette tape recording from, like, you remember those ghetto blasters? Like we'd press record on one of them, right?
Yeah.
And then Yep. And so we had that, and then I don't know, 6 months later, I'm driving down the freeway in LA, and I hear this song on the radio. I'm like, wait, did he get this to the radio? What the hell's going on? This is our song. And it became a Weezer song. It became a huge hit. I'm not saying I write huge Weezer hits or whatever, but I'm just like, oh my God, like that idea had to have been just floating around, or we didn't do anything with it. It was just sitting on a cassette tape, and I mean, it wasn't identical, but it was unreal, like unbelievable. And that's just one instance. And I think that's why sometimes people say, "Oh, you ripped that song off from so and so."
I agree.
Or, you know what I mean? I think it's like, well, I think the ideas are kind of floating around in some weird way, and also sometimes there could be something that everybody hears that gets influenced in the same way. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about creativity. That's for
Right.
damn sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And if you look at science, we're still like toddlers as far as our
yeah.
understanding of cosmos
Yeah.
and metaphysical world, you know?
Yeah. Don't we use like 1% of our brain or something? I mean, it's
Very small percentage we actively
it's pretty
use.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty bizarre. What's the other
Yeah.
99% doing? Like,
Yeah.
hello?
I don't know. Maintenance in the background.
Processing.
Yeah, totally.
Processing. Yeah.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's crazy.
Can I ask you about not only do your talents lie in music, but also obviously in making art? Would you please enlighten us with your Bamtastic Silver? And if Tony could pop it up, we could take a scroll through it quickly if you'd like.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know how to pop it up on here.
Tony's got to do that.
Okay,
We'll
all
do
right.
it for
Cool,
we'll do
cool,
it for you.
Yeah, Fantastic Silver. It's nothing to do with me. That's 100% Bam. I just help once in a while with like answering emails or something for a complicated order. But yeah, that just came about because we wanted to wear silver jewelry, and it was hard to find stuff that we really liked. And there was like a lot of stuff that looked kind of, I don't know, there's just like one skull that you'd see all the time, and then you pick something else up and it's stainless steel, and we're like, no, we want silver, and so Bam he had studied it a little bit in England, and one of my AirPods just went down.
You're good.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. So Bam's English, so he had studied a little bit with this guy in England, and then it kind of went to the wayside for a while in LA because you have to have a pretty good space to do the silversmith work. And then when we moved to Florida, he had the space. So that's when he started making stuff. And I will tell you, there are a lot of pieces that sometimes he only makes one. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm never going to make that again. That was like, I could never charge him. It's like, if it takes him 7 hours to make something, he can't really charge you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so intense. So, so like I have a ring on that's like it's sort of like a,
I love that t-shirt.
Oh yeah, the t-shirt's cool. Fantastic Silver.
Cool. I love the pirate
forced to work. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of stuff, he'll make it, and then we kind of nowadays a lot of times he sees like, we kind of get a vibe for what's going over, what people really like. And it's definitely skulls, hearts, and stars are big. I think the new bottle thing is going really well. There's an Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades is usually, probably, I don't know if it's that one or the original one, is worn by Bobby Dahl in Poison. Rachel from Skid Row wears Fantastic Silver, like his nose chain. That's Fantastic Silver. And he always wears the pendants from him. And then Bam does wedding rings for a lot of people who don't want, let's face it, I don't wear a traditional wedding ring.
Those are so cool.
Those are badass.
So he so he does a lot of custom stuff. It's basically it's what's called, I've learned all these terms now. It's called a lifestyle brand, and and then the silver, a lot of it is heirloom, and has such an intense meaning for people. So he gets messages from people all the time who say, I never take this off. Like I sleep in it, I shower in it, like it never leaves my body, because they have so many pieces have like meaning for people. You know what it's like, you get something, and
especially if it's handcrafted. Yeah, if it's handcrafted like that, absolutely, it takes on even more meaning. Yep. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's very
So
cool.
I mean, there are definitely pieces and elements of our lives that are in there. In just cool ways. It's very authentic, is what I would say. He doesn't, if something doesn't feel right, then he's like, no, that's not my wheelhouse. I can't make that.
Yeah, it's so beautiful too. I mean, just the personalization is what I love. It's not like you can go to any store and 90,000 people have the same one.
Right.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, it's really, really cool stuff. And there's
like
really
that.
neat stuff. Like
Stop right there, Sandra. Show us that pendant.
Oh yeah,
right
the
there.
VIXEN pendant. Yep,
I like that.
Yep.
That's cool. Very cool.
That is cool.
And all that the VIXEN pendant money always goes to the band. Bam does not take any cut of that because he's Bam.
Can't get this box to go down.
That's cool.
I am so getting that right there.
That's
awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a chunky piece of silver too.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, that's the other thing, Tony. It's only going to go up in value because it's silver.
Yeah, that's true.
Just look on this jewelry site later. I just have a feeling.
I was going to say I'm getting on that after the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Throw the credit cards in the safe. I'm going to be dangerous.
I know.
Tell Bam he's going to be busy.
I will. I would be in trouble if he wasn't my husband because I would be like, I want that, and I want that, and I want that.
Yep.
And, you know, and
exactly.
I mean, I get a lot of special things. Like this is on the site, but this one has amethyst in it.
Wow.
And the amethyst isn't on the site, but I usually wear one from the website. It has the black in the middle, and I always wear that on stage and stuff. You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is awesome.
Right.
Yeah,
Check
cool
it out,
stuff.
chat. Check it out, chat.
Because you know we're both musicians, and you gotta pay the bills. You gotta eat.
Tony, if you wanted, we got like 1,000 questions in the chat. Maybe if you just wanted to highlight a couple of them.
Let's see.
Like,
have a look, Sandra.
Well, I can't highlight them.
I'll highlight them if you see one.
Maybe a few.
Thrash Metal Fun Riffs has one.
Okay.
Wow, there's too many.
How far back is it, Sandra? I'm scrolling.
Not that far back. CK had a question about the jewelry, but I believe she answered it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. And just in case anybody's wondering, I have a I don't know if you can tell. This is my red chair.
Yep.
And that's very specifically red because I'm a Formula One fanatic. Formula One only, not any other racing. Just Formula One, and Ferrari is my team.
Nice. That's starting up again soon, right?
Yeah, March 28th.
There you go.
There's my
cool.
AirPod case. I got all sorts of silly little things. Yeah, everything like
I don't
Ferrari.
know, Tony. It won't let me go that far back, but
it's exciting.
When I lived in Miami, we used to try and do Ingve sightings because he would drive his yellow Ferrari around.
Oh my God,
everywhere.
That's so crazy.
So we would try and drive around the Miami Beach and catch him and shoot
pictures.
pictures.
That's insane.
Someone asked if they're playing Vegas this year.
I believe we are. Yes. Yeah. I think it's sometime in August, I want to say, and it's with Skid Row.
Okay.
Those dates are on the website. Yeah.
Right.
The links are down in the description, kids.
Probably a few shows if you do play this summer.
I know. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think that there's probably shows listed on the VIXEN website, but there's a lot of flux going on around that right now. So I would hope that by that time it's going to be solid, but I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows.
It's hard to know how they're gonna schedule everything, but
it is. Yeah, it's weird.
It's good that the dates are there, which means there's a lot of interest. So
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's give away a guitar pick, share.
Yes.
Let's do that.
All right, let's do it.
How about that? All right. Let me get my screens straight.
He's got a plan. Got a plan. I'm gonna look in the chat while you're doing all that. I wish we would play a lot of places with the skid. Somebody said, I wish we would play Georgia with the skid. I know, right? How long are the video? Oh, somebody asked how long the video shoots. Generally 24 hours.
Wow.
Straight. No breaks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was standard.
That was Joe once that had asked that.
Yeah.
Great question. Wow.
A lot of stuff going on.
So I noticed while they're getting that stuff share, I noticed that at least in a lot of pictures, I see you with a P bass.
Yeah.
Is that your preferred? I know there's this big, I mean, amongst my like bass playing friends, there's always this jazz bass, P bass kind of, you know, thing. And
Oh,
so you're a P bass
yeah,
kind of person?
yeah. Yeah, I actually made a switch. So I was a jazz bass player for a long time, and I still have my number 3 fretless Jaco Pastorius bass.
Nice.
Yes, and at some point in the, I don't remember. I guess it would have been it was in the 90s. Yeah, it was definitely in the 90s. I because I, you know, when I'm playing bass, I'm not looking. I don't look at the fretboard or anything, but because the precision the jazz bass have, necks are different enough, so your hand is in a different place in relation to your body to hit like a low F or something. And so to make a switch, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a switch. I'm gonna focus on it so I don't, you know, screw up all my gigs or anything. And I went and got myself a 65 precision from the, I can't remember, what's it, Norm's Rare and Vintage or something, maybe. And no, it's a famous shop.
Right.
Yeah. So I got it from them, and I played the crap out of that. And then me and Bam and Alex Kane and Joe Dog were the songwriters for Jesse Camp for his album. He was the MP guy.
Yeah,
and
I
so
remember that
So
guy.
So to reward myself for that, I got a bass from the custom shop, and that's my usual one at home. So that's the one I usually play. It's like a 70s reissue, but it's like a newer one. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that one plays great. And then for VIXEN gigs, I don't bring a bass. It's just in the rider. Supply me with a 4-string Fender Precision bass, and I put my strap on it, and off I go.
That's
nice.
Yeah,
great idea.
I was going to ask you about your rig. Is it a different rig each time, or do you travel with, besides the bass, now that you get a new one at each gig? You know?
Yeah. Yep. It's bass du jour. I never know what I'm going to get.
That's pretty cool.
Do you have specific as far as amplification? Is there anything that you or, you know, I know some people, it's like, give me any backline amp, but I need this boost pedal with me, or is there anything like that for you, or you kind of more just plug into whatever and you're fine? Can you find your tone anywhere?
Well, I'd like to think I can find my tone anywhere, but I definitely prefer an SVT rig, just the old school, you know, the nickname is, they call them the refrigerator or the beast, either
8x10s.
Yeah,
8x10s and the SVT. Yeah, the beast is my favorite rig. I mean, you know, my favorite tone is really like along the lines of Jack Bruce from Cream, where there's a little bit of dirt. And I can get that because I play a little hard with my fingers. So and then the SVT just kind of, it sounds right with that. You know, you get that good warmth and a little bit of cut, but it's not all trebly and weird or anything. So yeah, if anything, my biggest flaw as a bass player is I like to have my bass really loud on stage.
Oh.
So, and the guitar is loud as well. So
I love that.
So
nothing wrong with
that. It was funny in Bubble. I used to laugh because I was the singer and the guitar player, and I was like, I'm like literally deafening myself. Like my guitar is so loud. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun though. I like, you know, I like Sonics. I like it to be loud. Can I tell? I can tell you.
Yeah. I mean, anytime, you know, I went to see Dinosaur Jr. and they had two 100 or 200 watt, the Marshall Major full stacks just for Jay Mascis, and then two 8x10 SVT stacks. And this is a 150 person club. And I'm like, yes,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I used to do some stuff around here locally where I'd go and speak at some of the schools and talk to, like, they would call them girls at risk in like high schools and stuff. And one of the things I do is sort of based on the concept that once you play a guitar through an amp, you just can't undo that feeling. Once you've felt it, you can't feel it. And so I would bring along a 5-string Les Paul Jr. that's tuned to an open G chord. And then I get one of these girls to come up who's never held a guitar, never played a guitar in their lives. And I would bring this little, I had this little box amp that I could take. And, you know, so it's not really loud, but for them it was loud. And you should have seen their faces, man. They would just light up. They would literally go nuts. And then all the girls would just go, wow. And it was that thing of like, that sonic, once you've experienced it. And I think, anybody should stand with a Les Paul and a big Marshall sax. Well, you need to do it. You got to do it.
At least once.
I have to say, and not to interrupt, but you just touched my heartstrings. I have an autistic son. I work with a Bridges program, so I get the kids that people want to throw away. If they'd been kicked out of another school, they come to my program at the school I teach. I told them, I said, if everyone reaches their behavioral levels in June when we finish for the year, I said, I can't bring in a full stack, but if the principal agrees, I'll bring in a half stack, and I'll let them. I'll tune it to an open chord, and I'll let them play through like a Marshall half stack.
Amazing.
So they're all being on like such good behavior.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Isn't that amazing?
Awesome
I
therapy.
can play an electric guitar, and I'm like, if you behave, I'm gonna be so good for you.
Yeah.
What a reward! What? Because that's you can't. There's nothing like it. There's just nothing like it. Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
That's really, really cool.
Absolutely.
Share our buddy Joe Wentz in the chat has a question. How long were the video shoots back in the MTV era?
Yeah, so the video shoots were 24 hours, just straight up 24 hours. We usually, the first call would usually be either, I think standard was 4 a.m. Somebody had to be there at 4. And then second girl at 5, third at 6, and then the next one at 7. And then usually we would wrap 7, 8 a.m. the next day. They were long days. It was really weird. But I think if you look at those videos, I know for sure How Much Love, crying was weird because that was all up high. So that was just bizarre. Edge of a Broken Heart, obviously, but if you look at them, I'm definitely thinking of How Much Love because we had the big ramps and the smoke and lights and all that stuff, and you had to show up with energy. You had to show up for every take with energy, even if you're just in the background for somebody else who was getting their lead shot, and you just were in the background. You couldn't just be like, okay, well, I'm really tired now. My feet really hurt. And I think I sprained my ankle. And you're just like, you got to do it, got to do it, got to do it. It's like, yeah. So they were long, but it was just what you did. It was like, who cares? Being a rock star, awesome. Let's go, do it. Bring out the M&Ms. I can keep going. That's good.
It's not usually not just one take either, right? It's
oh my god.
Because if someone else is leading, then you got to be like, oh, we got to do it again. We got to set this up. We got to go to this angle. It's like,
camera got the shot.
Oh yeah, no,
it's
a long day, but
tons and tons of shots. Yeah.
But it's worth it. The reward. You look back and you're like, man, I did that.
It's crazy.
Cool.
It's like so weird sometimes. Yeah, it's funny.
Cool, Tony. Let's give away a pick,
hair.
man. Yeah.
Let's give away one. Yeah. So kids,
cool.
That's what we're playing for right now.
Woo-hoo!
Very cool.
Know your VIXEN.
Good luck, chat.
You know the drill, everybody. All right. So as it always goes, the first correct answer that we see will be our winner.
All
right. Everybody ready in the chat? All right. So here we go. Which two members of VIXEN share the same birthday? Which two? All right.
It is not Slayer.
Slayer. They're all going to come up.
How fast can you Google?
Yeah, these guys. Come on, guys. Usually quicker than this.
It's like an 8 or 10 second delay, so that's probably why they're all going to flood in.
Yeah,
a little bit of a delay.
Can I answer a question?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So no, I can't wear heels anymore. I can't really even wear them in real life though, not even like on stage. So yeah, I wear Converse on stage, but I've done that for years. I started wearing Converse. So Lenny Lou, you asked, can you still rock those heels? You're like, ouch, 30 years later. I actually had back surgeries.
I think we got a winner.
Nope, nobody's got it right yet.
Mike
No?
Johnson.
Okay.
Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Nope.
He doesn't.
Oh.
Nope.
All right, guys, you're all around it.
I'll tell you this much. You're close, Mike.
You're getting close, yeah.
You're close.
There's your hint.
Yeah,
There's
Mike.
your hint.
You are close.
There's only 4 of us.
How many
There's your
combinations?
hint.
Elimination.
It's a possibility of how many combinations.
Wow.
James
Oh my
and
God.
Kirk, nope.
If you can hear that snowplow, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Okay.
Sharon Roxy,
And
Roxy
and I do
Sharon,
wear earplugs on stage, and I have done that for a long
Sharon,
time.
Sharon Brett,
From
It is not James
years and
and
years.
No.
Sharon Lorraine,
No.
Andreas
Nope.
and Matt. No, it's not
No.
Sepultura.
Wow.
Nope, it's
Dave and Marty?
it's within the classic lineup.
Sharon
I'm
Roxy.
You're just guessing
Yeah, I'm
now. You're so funny.
I'm surprised. No.
Well, I know what's throwing them off, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roxy and Janet.
Yeah, got a winner.
Charles
Oh.
Green.
Did I
Charles
say
Green.
Roxy and Janet?
Yep, Charles
There,
Green.
yeah.
Charles
Congrats,
Green.
There he
Charles.
Yeah, nice.
Roxy and Janet. Yep.
Charles Green.
That was actually a good trick.
Got it.
That was a good
There
point.
he
A
is.
good trick question. I think they were assuming you were going to be one of the birthdays. Share. I think
Right.
that's why.
Yeah, our birthdays are really close together. So Roxy's and Janet's are March 17th, and mine's March 21st. So when we were on the road, that was a little crazy.
A lot of
I
birthday
bet.
cakes.
I
Cool.
bet.
Birthday
All
Yeah.
right, Charles. I will
Nice
mail
one.
you this guitar pick out Monday. I think I still have your address. Resend that if you would, in case I can't find it. I just mailed him out a package.
In your Facebook
Cool.
messages.
Yeah.
And
That's where it
Charles,
was.
Cher can attest those picks work really well.
They do. The blue ones I actually use.
Yeah, I like those. What is it called? Tortex material?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't, like, if you get sweaty, it's still like you're not, I feel like they don't slip out as quick.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, a little mini trivia back in the, in MTV era, we all had picks and stuff, and my guitar picks I never ever used. Like, they were just to throw to the audience. I never ever played them. Not at all. Never, just not at all. They were so thick and ridiculous I couldn't even use them.
Oh, wow.
And then many years later, I played in so many other situations, et cetera, and so I did use a pick for certain things with the bass, and so that's when I got those blue ones. I started getting together. So I do use those. Maybe not so much in VIXEN, but I do use them in the right situations. So yeah,
Right.
they're very good. They play great.
Now, was it weird for you to go to using a pick a lot after, like, playing jazz and that kind of stuff, which I'm assuming, I mean, most jazz players are using fingers all the time.
Yeah.
TK.
Yeah, I'm still like probably 95% finger player.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, for what my fingers can do, if that, like, I can't get a pick to do it. Like, I never worked at it that hard. So but when I toured with Bam's band, when I toured with the Dogs D'Amour, that just would have sounded horrible if I'd have played with my fingers. It just wasn't the right sound. So I forced myself to learn how to play those songs with the pick. And that was very, okay, we're playing with the arena and you're going to play bass with the pick. Okay, I can do this.
Tony's got a lot of VIXEN picks. Very nice.
Holy cow, right? Tony, you're going crazy there.
You want to look at your private chat?
Yeah. Cher, we know Cher, you're busy, and we've been here an hour, more than that, so we should we'll be wrapping up soon anyway. But we appreciate so much. We appreciate so much that you took the time. It was awesome. This was awesome.
We can't thank you enough.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure, you guys. This is amazing. I love you guys have great energy. I love what you're doing. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Fruitcake Tony.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
thank
ma'am. And
you
thank
guys
you.
in the chat room. Like, thank you guys so much, Christopher, Charles, and I know Lenny Lee said you saw us back in Minnesota. Thank you guys. This is so cool.
Yeah, we hope to see you again soon. Very soon.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And
Thank you so much for your time. I mean, and besides being an amazing musician, your spirit and your personality is just, you can tell you glow of positive energy. So that's been wonderful. Thank you.
Ah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you
just
guys.
really cool.
we
All
appreciate
right.
you being here. This has been so
My
much
pleasure.
fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Cher Ross.
You guys are too awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
you.
You're welcome anytime.
Okay,
Take
thank
care.
you.
All
Thanks, Cher.
Thanks.
How about that?
That was
Holy
cool.
cow. That was awesome.
Bazinga.
Yeah, man.
That was. Cher is so cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very nice.
I mean, we could have talked to her for
Very
another couple hours. You
I
know?
know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I know.
Which means we'll have to
Goodness.
have her back, and maybe she'll bring other people with her, right, Tony? Maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roxy.
Roxy.
Hopefully Roxy will show up. Yeah.
Thanks, Lenny Lou.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thanks, Joe Wants Project TV. Lenny Lou.
Yep.
CK.
stuff.
There you go, Charles Green.
Dwight
Right.
Dave, Stafford's Music Studio. Mike Jackson. Charles
That's all
Green.
you.
Darsh Metal and Fun Roofs. Jeff K. Christopher Sawa. Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
Sweet chickadee.
All righty. Goodness, that was so much fun, guys.
Yeah, man.
That was a blast.
Brendan B. Squared, we have to thank Brendan right there for arranging this with Cher.
It was, yeah.
Man, B.
It was. I'm glad we were able to do it. It was. It was a long time coming, right? I mean, Tony and I talked about this a long time ago, and we said, let's reach out. Let's reach out and see what happens. And
Yeah.
Cher answered her back right away. She's like, "Sure, let's do it." I'm like, what? Okay.
She was awesome.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
She's just so genuine and just such a nice person, and just to give up,
big thank you
her
to Cher
time.
for doing that, for coming on.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you very much.
Being who she is. She's an awesome person, like you said, Tom. Just
Yeah.
all around awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
that was fun.
Yeah, it was
super good. Just good energy, Like,
yeah, man.
just a
Definitely.
good person. That was awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for setting that up, Brandon. That was really cool.
Yeah. Go check out VIXEN.
Yeah.
On YouTube, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of old VIXEN stuff, MTV Unplugged.
There's too much stuff.
Way cool.
Too much stuff that we couldn't get to.
Yeah,
There's
it's a lot.
Is there an unboxing?
Yeah, we got an unboxing.
Oh, we do.
Kids in the chat, hang out. We got an unboxing.
I gotta take my dog out
in the snow.
I yelled for Rikki earlier, but he must not heard me.
I'll show your address.
Yeah, in the
Show your
snow.
address, Tom, to show your address.
I already did.
That's
all right.
It's all good.
I don't really care. I'm good.
No.
I gotta find something to open it.
You found part of it.
All right.
You found
That's
part of
not
it.
big enough to be a purple guitar, CK.
No.
All right, let's see.
You can't see it's purple
I'm
if
kidding,
it's back far enough.
But no, it's not.
Maybe I should get regular scissors.
What's cool is when VIXEN does their song "Rock Me" live, they start the song out playing the first part of "Running with the Devil."
Oh,
And
cool.
right before the vocals start, it's in the same time sig and key as that, and they just march right into verse 1 of Rock Me. It's so cool how they do that.
Fruitcake Tony already did his purple guitar. It should be uploaded on his channel. Right, Tony?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
CK, you gotta look back. There's that'll be the
Charles.
before. And you'll see that.
Am I going to be trolling Jay in 2 hours? Thrash metal and fun riffs. Yes, I will be trolling Jay in 2 hours.
Of course.
Ooh,
We probably all will be.
All right, you ready? I don't know what it is.
I know what it is.
Brand new to me, so I do not know. You ready? I'm going to find out what it is.
I'll explain it.
Whoa.
You'll know.
What is that, dude?
You'll know when you open it. That is a cigar box, but when you open it, you'll know. It's like it's a mini pedal board, Tom. So
that's awesome. Here, let me pull this out and show them.
So it's got a
tuner included.
Yeah, it's got a tuner included, and then a space for your favorite pedal next to it.
This is awesome. Yeah. This is badass. Hold on, let me hold this up. There's the tuner.
They know what that is. They know what that is. No.
All right.
There's a spot next to it for your favorite pedal. Got some Velcro in there,
and then look,
then 2 pop outs. You can pull those out. That pop that out. Put a couple cords through there. So, both sides.
That's cool. That is cool.
And I think I wrote something on the back. I think I wrote something on the back to you. On the back of it. On the back of the box.
On the bottom.
I don't remember.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah. Pedal to the metal.
Dude, you're the best, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm speechless.
There you go, man. So
if you have awesome, Brendan. You're the man, dude.
If you have a favorite if you have a favorite pedal, throw it in there with the tuner, and then you can take it with you.
I'll tell you, I know exactly what's going in there, right there, right next to it. My original LPD 87, right in there next to it, next to it.
Awesome.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much, dude. This box too is like, damn.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite ones.
That's high end. Look at that.
Yeah.
Those are one of the most solid ones.
Brendan does awesome work.
Dude, look at his work. Look how clean that is there.
It's just amazing.
Both sides. Oh, and then
welcome, Richard.
Look at that. If you guys can see this wood in person too, it's got that you get that light hitting the rays and the mahogany.
Yeah.
Damn, cool. Dude, you outdid yourself. Now I'm gonna find something cool to send you, but I gotta make something cool because I can't just buy you something now because you made me something. I gotta make you something.
Send me anything, man. I'm happy.
I gotta make you something, dude. This is just wow. That's awesome, man.
Thrash metal says you can carry some contraband in there.
Yeah, I should have thought
of that too.
That wasn't even the first thing on my mind. I should have thought of that.
There may be some spots, I may be able to put something else in there. I won't
put a little bit of cabbage in there.
There you go. That's hilarious.
All right.
That is awesome, dude. I was so curious. I have to be honest. I didn't open it, but I shook the box a little and went. And I had no idea.
Shouldn't do that.
I had no idea. I didn't go. I just went.
Might be eggs in there, dude.
It was a test. It was gonna explode if I shook it right.
No, it's not a glitter bomb.
All right.
So,
thank you so much, Brendan.
You bet.
Let's pay a little homage here to this young lady for everything that she does around here. Yeah.
You are most
welcome. No. Oh, a standing O. You got to have a standing O.
Yeah.
She works hard every day.
She does. Thank you, Sandra, for everything.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
Thanks.
Yes, you are.
Dude.
Likewise. Dude.
Yeah. Okay, goodness, man, that was so fun.
That was a blast.
And
it was a blast.
That jewelry site, guys, go check that out because of one item, and I looked in it last night, and all the chains and the charms and the bracelets. There is one thing that I am. Where is it at? I kept a picture of it. Daggone it. Where? Ah, here it is. Oh yeah.
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 That's
you,
awesome.
TK. That's all you, man.
Yeah. Made by her husband.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
And the
definitely.
fam does cool stuff for sure. Look at the little detail on the edges too on that. That's awesome.
So, yeah, guys, check out that website and pick something up for yourself. There's a lot of stuff on there too. It's not just jewelry, but there's a lot of stuff on that site. You know,
Hey, Thrash Metal. Thanks, I guess. You know, I'm happy to see anybody successful that's ever been in contact with me. So whatever you're trying to do just ain't gonna work. So rock out, Metalhead Hippie.
Yeah.
I work my hiney off on any show that I'm on.
That's right.
And all projects too. All of you collaborate with, gosh, everybody.
The Energizer Bunny.
You took that much effort and energy and put it into something you believed in other than trolling people's live chats. You might have better success too, my friend.
And with
Great
that,
show.
a wonderful show.
Cher was amazing.
She was awesome.
I'm probably gonna go listen to some VIXEN and scroll on a jewelry site now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check the jewelry out.
I'm gonna be buying some. Yep.
All right. So
so am I, Trash.
Oh, definitely. So, kids, we are going to scat on out of here. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Sandra, B, Tom,
Tea-Cake.
Thanks.
Tony, Sandra, Brendan.
Yep. Love you guys.
Thank you all. Thank you again for the gift.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Yeah.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
Love you guys. See you guys. I'm going home.
Oh, Cass family doesn't make hats. It's a purr.
There you go.
There's my hard hands.
I tried to get Vixen, but it ended up just EN. I'm like,
Can make a V.
V. It's the EN like on Tony's shirt.
Yes.
I'm going to show you guys that new clip that
yes, Linda.
Sandra made
Thanks
us.
to everybody in the chat tuning in, whether you like us or not. You must be a fan. So thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time. Make sure to click those links in the description. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Tea-Cake. Have a great night. Peace.
All righty, let's.
Hey folks, come and join the magic every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Show Me Your Pick with my good friend Fruitcake Tony and the live crew.